There's not many views of these videos going on though. Just to say to you all. Yeah, well, you can on YouTube obviously see how many views there are of each individual video. And I think we started out, I mean, I haven't looked at it for a week or so, but I think we started out, the very first videos had about 45 views. And then the numbers have just dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped. So we're in single figures, I think, for the last two. I know, I appreciate I didn't get you the last one properly until last week, but they are useful. And this one now will be particularly useful, particularly, Frankie, for those that can't make it, because obviously taking on board your feedback that you gave me, I am going to go through all of the questions that we've already covered. And as I said to the girls before you joined, Frankie, I think you'll be surprised at how many questions we've done. So without any additions, just covering the ones that we've done. All happy with that as a little strategy for today? Yeah, there's also a few pleasantries that Frankie's asked me to teach you. So I'm going to start with those. And then it'll be just going back to the very first questions that I taught you. So for example, how are you? And just going back to the very start and just going through every single question that you've covered so far. All right? All right? That's it. Good. Let me just screen share with you then. I did press record then, didn't I?
Yeah, it's recording.
Can't see it. Oh yes, yes, I can see it on my screen. Right. Where am I? Let me get my head in the right space here. Is that my presentation? Can't see it there. My eyes are going. No, it's not. Right. That's where we are, week 7. Can you all see that okay? I'll put myself on spotlight, so that'll be better for your video, I think. Is that okay now? Okay, so a few pleasantries that Frankie asked me to cover you are these, yeah? So whilst there's a different welcome coming up in a second as well, just generally welcome is it's a directional verb, so you go in the direction, from the direction of the person that you're conversing with, and it's welcome, just bringing them in towards you. Welcome, that's the general sign for welcome. Yeah, so if you're sitting at a reception desk or sitting in your office and somebody comes in, then it's welcome. Okay, please is simply a thumbs up. Yeah, you will see people try and do a manifestation of thank you to do it, but in the deaf world, simply saying please is, you know, T's all right, basically. Yeah, so your thumbs up is please. If you do see people trying to create a sign for please, ignore it. Yeah, as far as BSL is concerned, the deaf community is concerned, that thumbs up is a hugely positive sign for you to use, and it is also used to mean yes, please. Okay, just simply your thumbs up. Do you all know thank you? Okay, so sign for man, basically, although you're not signing man, obviously. Thank you. So your full palm on your chin, thumb out, and then coming out just to your thumb. So this is actually a manifestation of deaf and hearing world coming together. In the deaf world, a thank you in the past was simply a thumbs up, same as please. In the hearing world, we used to blow kisses, didn't we? You know, generations past used to blow kisses by way of, say, you know, a pleasantry, really. So that is actually a combination of those two things. Yeah, thank you. And of course, depending on the situation, you can be hugely thankful, or you can be sarcastic. Yeah, if your face says, what does that mean? Are you being sarcastic? Yeah, or, you know, meaning huge thanks. Yeah, so whatever situation you find yourself in, find the appropriate level of thank you to go with it. Sorry is simply a hand on your chest and a little rub of circles. This is sorry. If you make a mistake and you're saying sorry, yeah, then it's sorry, yeah, meaning it's my fault, I've made a mistake, yeah, my mistake. So just generally sorry, which is the one that's used in 95% of the times you'd use it. But if you're apologizing for making a big mistake when perhaps you really fought to say, I'm right, I'm wrong. yeah, then that's an entirely different one. So your face again matches. You're sort of a bit embarrassed at that point as well. Slow down is quite simple, really, and you would do it naturally, I think, if you didn't know how to sign it. Slow down. Slow down. Yeah. So if you're trying to have a signed conversation, you would hope the same way as we naturally know if people are not first language English and they are trying to use English with us, or Welsh indeed, then if they're not first language, we know instinctively where they're at, don't we? And we can modify our language so that to give them the best chance to understand. So the deaf community would be exactly the same with you. They will know that you're not fluent BSL users. And so they will just try and match their type of signing with where they think your level is. And they'll continue to sort of modify that as you go through and you show what you can or indeed what you can't do. Yeah. So slow down will get them to sign slower to you, obviously. And then that will help them sort of tune in to where you are, basically. And then this final one on this slide, do you know? This is the sign for no. Anything to do with words that are linked to the head and being inside the head, as in this case, knowledge, if you like, is always signed around the head. So no is with your thumb up, that's your hand shape, and just a double tap, really. No, yeah. And then to change it to do you know, you obviously need your questioning face going on, but yeah, with your raised eyebrows. Okay. So welcome. Keep it away from your body. Welcome. Once or twice, but welcome. Keep it away from your body. Okay, please. Thumbs up. Good. Thank you. Beautiful. Sorry. With a sorry face on. Sorry, I'm wrong. Good, 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 good. Lovely. Slow down. You're moving too fast. Slow down. Good. Do you know? Excellent. And you do have on your lips. Good. Absolutely lovely. So moving on to these other ones that Frankie asked me to cover. I don't, well, she didn't ask me this one actually, but I put it in anyway. I don't know. Yeah. So if you think about your affirmation, saying, I do know. Yeah. I know is with affirmation. So I don't know. Okay. So yeah, for sort of, I've no idea. Yeah, so a stronger than I don't know really. And if you are absolutely clueless, so you've got those three graduations that in effect translate different English words, if you like, or different English mannerisms or Welsh mannerisms. Yeah, you have okay, three graduations of I don't know, basically. Yeah, so three nice signs, really. Nice to meet you. You'll see people doing nice to meet you. Yeah, but when you're face to face to somebody, why would you have this out sign, which is, this represents people, as you know, or a person each. This is the face side. Your palm is the face side of that person. Why would you use meeting you like this when somebody's actually standing in front of you? Why would you do that? So you'll see people who aren't very good at BSL doing nice to meet you. Deaf way of doing it and BSL way to do it. Nice. So this full palm with your thumb up coming across your chin. Nice to see you. That's in effect what you're signing. Yeah. So again, you will, I'm sure, see people doing this. If you were carrying it on or saying, you're happy to finally meet somebody, then you might use it in those terms, even though they're in front of you. But when you're just saying nice to meet you, then actually the way to do it, is signed, nice to see you. And actually, in the deaf world, they're more likely to do good to see you. It's good to see you. That sign, nice, is very, very overused amongst the non-deaf signing community. They use it again and again and again and again. And you'll see this as nice as well, which isn't a Welsh regional sign, but nice. Nice to meet you. It's bloody awful when Sarah sees it. She cringes every time, So it's good to see you, or it's nice to see you. And that means it's nice to meet you. Okay? You're welcome, as opposed to welcome. You're welcome is, again, simply no problem. All good, no problem. So that thumbs up is a hugely positive sign. And the only thing that changes very slightly its meaning is your facial expression and indeed the context in which your conversation is happening. All right? So that thumbs up is always a really, really good one to get into your belt. Do you have, I think we cover this in the questions later anyway, actually, but do you remember the sign for have, as in catching something? This is have. So this is to say, I have. Do you have? So you catch and you reference. So initially you might be doing catch and reference, okay? And that's the actual sequence of the sign, Eventually you'll do this as a complex sign to actually catch and reference to the person that you're asking in front of you. And on your lips, do you have? I have. So the only thing on your lips is have. I have. Do you have? Okay. And obviously you could have milk, tea, coffee, shopping, bags, whatever, as a noun to attach to the end of the do you have. And in which case then the nouns, if we were talking about milk, then you would do milk first. Dog. Do you have a dog? Topic first, the dog. How do you say I have a dog? Dog first. And no me on your lips, Frankie. Good. Cat. I tell you, use the whiskers to represent a cat. How would you sign it? That's your hand shape. Two little pulls of the whiskers. Just remember your affirmation to say you do or you don't. Simple questions. All right. So we've done I have, and we've done I don't have, as in just using negation. I don't have. Still on your lips. It's only have. Milk. You won't be old enough. When I was in school, we had a little bottle given to us every morning, and it had a little straw in it. And that's how old the sign is. It's from drinking through the milk through the straw. Again, you'll see people using this sign for milk, as in milking a cow. That's the verb. And too many people use the verb sign when actually what they're using is a noun. That's the noun, for milk. Happy with those? I don't know. So keep it stationary when you're doing it. Remember to reference the I said. Nice to meet you. Good. You're welcome. Excellent. Well done. A bit slow there, Rosie. Sorry. Well done, though. Do you have? So don't worry about going too high. Try not to cover your face in a way. Just sort of just start it about there. Remember your raised eyebrows. It is a linguistic part of the language, raised eyebrows, the same as your furrowed brow. They're both linguistic facial movements. I have. Show me your nods of affirmation a bit better. Better, better, better. Good. I don't have. So show me your negation now. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Lovely. So the questions you've covered. This is going to be fun. You'll be amazed how many you've done. Right. You should know all these. How are you? Again, facial expression is really important. Okay. What is your name? So nice and fluent. Name with 2. Transition to your 1 finger to reference the person you're asking. Only thing on your lips is name. So don't say it, but you mouth it. But so small. Whenever we say mouth it, it's always a small mouth pattern. Yeah, it's not name. Yeah. Okay. Are you happy? Emma, it's great. Don't have more confidence than that. So remember always have that facial expression that is a questioning face. That's better. Are you excited? Good. Worried? Good. Stressed? Good. Calm? Good. Confident? Really fast, some of you. So your shoulders coming up as well. Yeah, remember as well to be able to say it if your way as well. I'm not going to bother not confident. Are you upset? Really important sign, really upset. Just one hand, Rosie, but you're right. So a face of concern now, isn't it? Okay, good. Remember these? Who? Should remember all these. I did a sign draw these so many times. What? Where? When? Why? Remember? Forgot. So why? Double tap. Yeah? Double rhythm sign, just 2 taps. Why? Okay. How? How? Good. And one not on here, which? I can't remember if I've shown it to you or not. This is the sign for which. That's your hand shape. So the general sign is just back and forth in front of you, which. Okay. But if you come into a meeting with me, for example, or a little conference or whatever, and I had a list of names, yeah, and the names are coming down the sheet, then I could do which. So actually what you do with which, if it's appropriate, is you reference at the same time. Yeah. If there were 3 choices going across this paper, then I could do which. Yeah. So you reference at the same time. So the orientation of the hand takes in your referencing if you need it. Or indeed, if you were sitting in front of me now, we're in a classroom, there were 4 of you, then I could do which of you. Yeah. So again, you take in you, and you. You take in what you're referencing. Does that make sense? So it's a rare handshake. You use it a few times, so not for a huge number of signs, but it's that little finger and thumb, which. So who? What? Where? When? Why? How? Which? Where? When? Who? Good. Well done. Well done. Good. They are your absolutely staple questions, aren't they? They're the ones you really, really have to have in your arsenal if you're going to try and have a conversation. So we then did these. So obviously getting you to ask a question of somebody. So I taught you like and all those things, but then how to put them into context. So do you like? Kumba, remember not to have you on your lips, yeah? Just the like, which you do say slightly. And then it's just a reference with that question in face. How old? Good, good. And again, your facial expression might change. You know, if I say to you that I'm 60 years of age, I hope you go, how old? In shock, yeah? I know you wouldn't, but I'd like to think you might. How much? Good, twinkling fingers. How long in time? So you've either got this how long from your pocket watch or your how long coming up from your watch, yeah? Good. How many? Good, good, good. How many? Twinkling fingers still. How often? Just separate your fingers, not together. Separate your fingers. How often? Yeah? 1, 2, 3. How often? Excellent. Remember those well. Good. Where were you born? So put the two together. You'll remember born, I'm sure. You're nearly right, but just remember that you're delivering that baby, the sign is. Yeah, remember to reference. Yeah, and get with your where to your reference. Now you're asking the question, get that fluency going. So you do your where, going straight into your reference. Yeah, so whereas where usually is to, when you combine it like this into a reference, you're doing where once and then straight into your reference. Yeah, so when you do name, for example, what's your name? Your orientation is for the reference is palm down. When you're following it from where, your orientation is palm up. So there's no fixed way of referencing the you or he, she in front of you, yeah? Then it can be any of these things. And there are no rules attached to it. It's a matter of comfort, yeah? So it's comfortable to go from where and keeping your palm up. It's comfortable to go from name to palm down. All right, does that make sense? Where did you grow up? Remember grow up? Good. Good. Where do you live? Good. So that's the sign for live, that strange handshake, that dropped middle finger. Good. Where do you work? Nearly, Frankie. Put your palm downwards on your receptive hand. Double tap. Good. Don't get that U off your lips. There's no U in BSL. Where were you born? Sorry, when were you born? Can't even read my own writing. That's grew up you've done. Remember born. So starting handshake was palms up, just sort of in front of your six pack, and then just going slightly down and then catching the baby. That's born. And that's your sign. If you're asking somebody their date of birth, you use that same sign. Yeah, there's no direct translation of date of birth because that's the legal term, if you like. We use date of birth because it's legal terminology. It's in lots of legislation. The question you're actually asking is, when were you born, isn't it? Yeah. All right. How long have you lived there? So remember your sequencing if you can. So the topic here is lived there, reference. How long? And do you remember then the been? The sign for been is linked to lots of questions when you're talking about the past. So when we say in English, have you, it's translated in BSL as been. Yeah, as well as translating been in English, it also translates always have you. So if you can ask the question in English or Welsh, have you, then in BSL, been. Yeah, it always relates to the past. So, that's a lovely little sentence really for your getting your ordering right. Yeah. So that's your topic. Your question, how long been? Lovely, lovely, lovely. So hopefully easy enough. How long have you worked there? Come but get that been in this time. Good, better. Yeah, so just remember that been worked, reference, as in there. How long been? Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well done. Do you like? How old? How old? How much? Good. How long in time? Good. How many? How often? Good. Where were you born? Okay. Where did you grow up? Good. Where do you live? Where do you work? Good. This is slightly repetitive, but it will help to embed it. When were you born? So what is your date of birth? Good, good, good. How long have you lived there? Good, you're getting your sentence sequence right now. Rosie, that live is underneath you, the same shoulder of the arm you're using. That's it. That's it. How long have you worked there? Okay, so I'm going to ask you these questions now, but not in the order that they're on that slide. So I'm going to turn off my voice and just answer me, okay? So we'll also be practicing some of your finger spelling, okay?
When were you born?
Yes.
When?
Yeah. So remember month first. So only give me the date, don't give me the year. So month first, then the date. Do you remember how to do dates? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. Remember that? Date. So that represents the third. Okay. This is when you wish you grew up somewhere really small, isn't it? A really small name. Now, when you're finger spelling, as soon as you can, don't look at your hands. I promise you that your subconscious is a far better finger spelling than your conscious is. You know where your fingers are, you know how to move them, you know how to touch each of your letters, you know how to do the shapes on your palm. The sooner you don't look at doing it, the more fluent and accurate your finger spelling will become. Yeah, so it's worthwhile just every day, if you can, when you're sitting down and relaxing, just allow something conscious, like in my case here, I'm looking at a wall, so allow the word wall to come into your consciousness and then just sign it. Yeah, think about the floor, then you just sign it. Yeah, think about television and you just sign it. Yeah, and you don't need to look at your hands, and the more you don't look at it, the more your subconscious will tell you or just simply naturally do it. So 5 minutes practice every day, you will be absolutely amazed how fast you'll improve.
When you're signing, so like I signed Hampshire for where I grew up, but like for like where I actually live is multiple words. Do you sign it all in one, or is there like a sign for like space in between it?
There is. So if I do Milton Keynes, for example, Emma, right, then you do Milton.
Yeah.
There's this very slight nod and a very slight pause. Yeah. Before you then do Keynes.
With you.
Yeah. So that makes sense?
Yeah.
And if you have a double-barreled name, then you link it with the, you know, Smith Jones. Yeah, you link it with that dash as well. But for 2 names or 3 names, there's just that very slight pause and very slight nod to show that there's a gap.
Fab, thank you.
All right. Ranky.
I forgot what F is in the finger spell.
Yeah, but obviously you're not like I'm doing that just to make sure it's on camera. Just your palms down. Yeah, and 2 Fs. Right, let's move on from that then. Well done, well done. Important questions really for any professional conversation that you might be having those. So we then moved on to some of these. So starting to combine things. So good morning, how are you? Should be easy enough for you now. Some of you forgot good morning. Come on. Good morning from the belly, then the how are you from underneath the shoulder blades. Good morning. Yeah, but remember, if somebody's really ill, how would you ask, how are you? Absolutely, absolutely. Because the question actually is, how are you coping? How are you managing? It's not an open question, how are you? You know they're poorly, you know they're not well, yeah? So remember that. The same as, how would you say, how are you to a child? 3, 4-year-old. Yeah, because we're more excitable, aren't we, around children? And we're a little more animated. So again, the facial expression and how you use the sign just changes those little bits. Yeah, so think about context and always sign within the context of that conversation. So what is your name? You know well now. We've got, where were you born again? Good. What's your date of birth? Good. How old are you? Good. Where did you grow up? Where do you live? Getting there, girls, getting there's good. How long have you lived there? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Where do you work? How long have you worked there? So remember that reference, worked there. Yeah, that there is important that you replace that. Again, all students in the early stages of BSL, they really struggle to get this referencing in with their conversations, yeah? But it's really important because it does translate lots of English words, yeah? Okay. Do you like your job? What's the topic? Good. Job first. So on this case, because this means work, but it also means job, then you have to have your mouth pattern. Remember your raised eyebrows? Good. And remember, it's not, does the job like you? So that's a different question. Quite difficult to answer usually. Yeah. Whereas asking somebody, okay, if you add the you on the end, then the question you're asking is, does your job like you? Yeah. So this was when we were concentrating on work. So do you work? What about, do you have a job? Good. That's really good. That is, Frankie, really good. Yes, you change it from, as in, do you work? As in, yeah. So this is the more open question. Do you work? Do you have a job? Okay, very slight difference, isn't it? But add in that have to make more sense of the conversation. Where do you work? Good, 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 good. And you're now getting that reference in. That's good. What job do you do? That's it. As soon as you know who, what, when, where, and why, then you just introduce them. That's good. When do you start work? As in time, really. Time of day. So work is still the topic. This was start. Your thumb, this is your hand shape. Brushing down your palm. Good. When do you finish work? Do you remember the sign for finish? Or actually, remember this is o'clock. 4 o'clock, Frankie. You start work at 4 o'clock? No. They need to pay you more. Yeah, remember this is o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Well, in this case now, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 8:30 or 7:30. Does anybody start work at 9 o'clock anymore? Yeah, so remember 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9:30. Okay. Still struggling with that, Cumber? So just do your sign drill, just do your number drill every day, and I promise you your manual dexterity will improve. Do that every day from now till 4 weeks' time, and I promise you, you will be able to do that in 4 weeks' time. No problem. Yeah, I couldn't do that at all when I started with Sarah 10, 11, 12 years ago, where it was. It's so easy now. Yeah, so just do that number drill in front of the TV. Do you work part-time? Do you remember the part-time bit? Just a finger spell. But it's the finger spelling pattern. It's what's called a finger spelling pattern. So you're not finger spelling in full. So because it's finger spelling, you still have your mouth pattern. Full time. Yeah, so yeah. Again, you might have people doing full time. It doesn't mean that. Yeah, so you have your part time and your full time. Job share. Or job. Yeah, do 50% each on a job share. Yeah, so remember your part-time, your full-time job share. Okay, good. So how do you ask? Do you work Monday to Friday? Okay, so remember in a sentence, time always comes first. So in this case, you would do Monday to Friday. Timeline is always first in a BSL sentence. So your Monday is your M, your O, the N. This is your timeline, left to right. Friday is FR. Yeah, I don't work weekends. Okay. Good. So a way of answering me, because I'm asking you, do you work Monday to Sunday? In other words, 7 days a week. So a way of answering is either saying, no, I don't, or you can say, no, Monday to Friday, I work. Yeah, I work Monday to Friday. Excellent. Well done. How long have you worked there? Remember your reference, Kumba. Remember your reference, work there. Good. Been. Remember the have you? Yeah, been. So BSL signing order, worked there. How long been? Yeah, that's what you're signing in BSL. Good. Do you enjoy working there? So working there is still the topic. Yeah. Good. Good. Again, if you're talking about work with somebody, then hopefully those questions cover most of the questions that you would ask. certainly at this level anyway. We then did family, and we introduced enumeration through family. So do you remember how to ask, do you have brothers and sisters? Brothers? Sisters? Double tap of the hook finger, double tap the nose. Remember with family signs that all of us generally like to talk about family. And if you don't like to talk about family, you may still find yourself talking with somebody who wants to ask you about your family. And if they ask you about your family, it's quite right and decent to ask about theirs, because otherwise you're showing no interest in the person in front of you, are you? So you have to be polite, even if you're not really interested, yeah? So your family signs are really important. So if you need to go back to those, because they really are important in any voluntary job, I would suggest your family signs are core language. All right. But brother and sister. Yeah. And do you remember how we do enumeration? So if, for example, I say to you, how will you ask me, am I the oldest, the middle, or the youngest? Frankie, that's really close. You just got the wrong way around on your hands, and get that hand shape right for your which. So you got your 3 right now. That's better. So that there's if I've got one brother, one sister, there's 3 of us, and you would simply ask, which one are you? Yeah. So remember, your number is on your left hand. The number's on your left hand. Numbers on your left hand. Kumba, that's it. And then the question, the which. So remember, with nearly all your signs, your right hand is, your dominant hand is most of the movement, yeah? Which one are you? Good. So that is the second question there. Which one? Yeah, if there's 4 of you, which one? If there's 5 of you, which one? If there's just 2 of you, which one? Yeah, this is the eldest, this is the youngest, eldest, middle, youngest, etc., etc. Yeah, this is called enumeration. Easy way to establish where you are, and then to ask questions about this one. You can ask, where do they work? Where do they live? Do they like their job? What job do they do? Blah, 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 simply by using your referencing of that. Good. So how would you ask, how would you ask me, how old is your brother? Just using the sign for brother now rather than enumeration. Just remember, your question always comes last. This sign for yours, which we use, doesn't always translate your in English, because that sign means strong possession. Yeah, and you don't own your siblings, do you? So you just yours is actually translated with a reference. Yeah, so brother yours as such, how old? So questions always last. Good. What is your sister's name? Yours. Remember, you're not going to your reference. You're not asking what's your name. Good, 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 good. Where does your mother live? Remember, your mother's just 2 M's. Good. Where does your father live? Lovely, lovely, lovely. Where does your grandson work? Single letter sign for grand. Son, full finger spell. Okay. Good, good. Okay. We then did these with who. So this is when we were talking about activities. These questions came up. With who? As in, who are you doing that with? Well done, Frankie. Well done. With. And remember, with is a directional verb. So if you're asking somebody to come with you, then it's towards you. And you're actually saying, with me. With me. Yeah. How many are with you? Or are you going with how many? Okay, just think about combining these, you know, nouns or questions with different questions. How far in distance? Well, and Emma, I was really quick. So out in front of you, so you can see my palm is towards me on my left hand, my right hand touching my fingernail. The only thing on your lips really is far. Yeah. What time? Well, and Emma, go for it. Go on. Good, good. Time reference you watch, even if you haven't got one on. Good. How much? That's how old? Some of you? Chin. How much? Ticket. Children's ticket. Okay, so remember, just combine those things, yeah? Children, adult, old people's ticket. How much? As in OAP ticket. How long duration? How long? How will you get there? It's really using your referencing. Nearly, Frankie, nearly. So from here to there. Yeah. So all those questions came from activities, thinking of trips and bus trips and day trips and going to the beach, whatever else. With who? Okay. If you were saying to somebody, are you going with them? Yeah. Then you would actually start the with from the person you're talking to, then taking it to the reference where the person is standing, that you can see them with. You go from them and taking it in the direction of the person where the person's standing. Are you going with them? Yeah. So remember, you've got your directional verb with me. Yeah. Are you going with them? Good. How far? What time? I won't answer the question. How does time work, Kumba? I'll have to research that first. How much? Chin. Good. How long? Duration. Good. How will you get there? Good. Well done. There was more. Where were you born? These are revision now of what we did before, but I'm showing you there the BSL syntax as well. Good. Where did you grow up? Good. Are you married? Come on, you're really quick on that one. So married is just putting that ring finger on once. Interestingly, this is married. Marriage, as in wedding, is putting on the finger and then tapping down as though you're saying, this is the day. Ring and then tap. That's marriage or wedding. Okay. How long have you been married? Think of been now. Have you? Remember the been. How long have you been married? So here, married, been, how long? Good. Well done. What was your job? Asking when somebody's retired, of course. It returns retired, work in the past. Yeah. So what were you doing? What work did you do, basically? Where did you work? Absolutely, Frank, if you're talking about in the past. Good. How long did you work there? Good. When did you retire? Do you remember the sign for retire? Fists underneath your shoulders, out into palms, out into full fingers. Are you retiring soon? I wish. A few questions, do you think? Turn your mics on. Just a few questions? Covered a lot. You have covered an awful lot of questions so far. Frankie said the feedback was that you want more questions. So what I would suggest at this stage is, I mean, I've got those to teach you, which I'll start with next week, because that's all around help, obviously, and they're important signs for you. So I'll start with that next week, next session, sorry. If you have questions that you want that I haven't covered, either email me direct, which I'm happy to receive lots of different emails, or email Frankie, and I'm sure Frankie's happy to coordinate and send those on to me as well. If there's any particular content that you want, then we've still got plenty of planning time over the next session. So as long as we're not going too complicated, because it's pointless because you won't remember it. So thinking about the basics of what you do, if you like. But if there's any content that you would definitely like me to cover before we finish the whole session, then please, again, just email that and let's design this around your needs, not what I think you should know, okay? All right. Frankie, happy with today?
Yeah, really happy. Thanks, Simon.
No problem. So I've obviously recorded this. Let me turn that off a minute. No, didn't. Well, I did one that as well, actually. I'm having a bad day today.